Time now for a look at business with Mike Eppel from CityNews 680. Mike, good morning. However, it is not a great morning in and around the Greater Toronto area. If you needed gas, you got bit hard today. What's the final damage today, and where is it going the rest of the week, friend?
That I don't actually know, Sid. I haven't had the early price indication yet because we're just getting used to the fact that gas went up 8 cents last night to almost $1.65 a liter as of this morning. So it's the highest price we've paid this year, and it's I think it's the excuses that are kind of driving people a little bit this morning, in as much as we've seen the base prices for the commodities, whether it's oil or refined gasoline, actually come down. But the companies are saying, oh, this is about the switch from one season to the next. Winter blends for gas are different than summer, and that has to get through the system, and it leads to some supply issues. And yet, and all, like I say, the market doesn't seem to be undersupplied. So I think that we grouse about this, Sid. Bottom line, it affects our daily lives. It affects inflation again. We're just coming off a month where inflation was down a little bit. Because of falling gas prices in March, well, now they're way back up again. So all of a sudden, you're likely going to see inflation potentially jump. And then does that put more pressure back on the Bank of Canada to raise interest rates? All these things are kind of tied together to lead to a little bit of consumer uncertainty, certainly, to start the day.
No doubt, Mike. The gas prices affecting daily lives is a 100% true statement, as is over 155,000 federal public sector workers saying we are off the job in one of the biggest strikes in this country's history. How does that affect people's day-to-day?
Well, I think the larger question is, who could have predicted it? Everybody?
Yeah.
With inflation the way it is and has been, that the Public Sector Alliance of Canada is pushing for a 13.5% wage increase over 3 years. The feds are looking at maybe 9%. At most. So you've got that discrepancy. It's all about wages by the sounds of things. There hasn't been an official contract for several months for federal employees. But you look at the cost of this, Sid, to the government, which has seen a very large expansion in the civil service over the past 5 or 6 years. Some indications that it's gone up by 30%, and it's costing now $140 billion a year. Just to run the federal government, which has gone up exponentially. And then you add to the cost of a new contract, it's going to go up as well. I can't remember specifically if that was mentioned in the federal budget that we just had a few weeks back, but that's going to just raise costs again, and got to pay for it somehow.
Mike, speaking of strikes, a warning to everyone at home who's booked a WestJet flight over the next couple of months. What do they need to know?
That the pilots union has voted in favor of a strike mandate that could affect flights before the May 2-4 long weekend, or Onex, which is the parent company now of WestJet, could lock the pilots out and shut the whole thing down even sooner. This comes back to wages. It comes back to flight scheduling. The ranks of the pilots specifically within the company. Yes, and we need another air travel disruption, don't we?
Wow. Yeah, because things were going so well. Things were going so well, Michael.
Yes. But look, you're going to have people now scrambling to go, okay, if I want to book a vacation, do I want to go on WestJet? Or do I go to Air Canada? That's pretty much the only other nationwide carrier, multi-country carrier. So it just ripples through the system. And then what do prices do?
Yeah, I'm sure our Minister of Transport, Omar Al-Gabra's on it. I'm sure he'll fix it, no problem. Finally, for everyone out there who blames Galen Weston for every negative thing happening in this country, yesterday was a good day for you.
Well, he has announced that he will be stepping aside as the president and CEO of Loblaw after what they described as a multi-month search, actually for a new leader for the company. Galen G. Weston has been at the helm of Loblaw since 2021, came back to the role then, and wasn't specifically for the long term, but has found himself, he's the face of the company. And of course, we've seen the hearings in Ottawa and the food price inflation and the grocers being blamed for that. So you wonder if they're actually going to do a marketing change here with the hiring of a gentleman by the name of Per Bank. He is currently the head of a Denmark-based grocery and drugstore chain. What does that sound like? Oh, Loblaws. Coming overseas, from overseas to head up Loblaws starting early next year. So he's going to get acclimatized to the Canadian retail market. But yeah, big change there at Loblaws. And you do have to wonder about the PR background, of course, to this, Sid. But again, they're saying it's been long in the works.
Also, bringing in a guy whose last name is Bank to help PR is an interesting move as well. Topic for another day. Mike Eppel, CityNews 680. A lot of stuff there, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you.